Hello and welcome back to yet another ultralight fishing video. My friends, today I am beyond excited because I am going to be testing out the brand new Temple Fork Outfitters Pastime series. I'm going to hop in my kayak, we're going to cast it around, we're going to catch some fish, we're going to put some flex in this bad boy. You know the drill. Today we are going to be talking about this. I think it's going to be a really cool rod. It feels really good. It looks really good. I have nothing but confidence. The other thing is I must give a huge shout out to Temple Fork. They actually gave it to me. They gave me a second one and I'm going to be giving that away. You can stay tuned for more details on that. It'll actually be on my Instagram, so follow me there if you don't already. Either way, I'm rambling and I'm sitting on a dock. I should be sitting in my kayak. Let's go catch a fish. So I tend to have mixed levels of success at this lake in the past, but I tell you what, I love this lake and it's the first time I've been out here all year, so I'm beyond excited. It is beautiful fall weather, my friends. Little bit of wind, nothing crazy, probably about 7 to 10 miles an hour. So that's pretty good. Nice clear skies, probably like 60 degrees outside. I love it, it's wonderful. First things first, which model did I get? This is the 6'6" one-piece ultralight, 2 to 6 pound test, 1/32 to 3/16 ounce lures, made in the USA. That, my friends, is a call out on this rod. Kind of cool. Not a lot of rods these days are made in the USA, so you got to give them a big shout out. This rod isn't necessarily cheap. It's about a $250 rod, if memory serves me correctly. So definitely on the higher side, but when I first feel it, I can understand why it is a $250 rod because it feels wonderful. It's extremely lightweight, great balance. Got a size 1000 reel on there, and as you can see, it balances perfectly. The thing that I immediately noticed about holding this rod is that it definitely has the exact same feel from a blank standpoint as their traditional trout and panfish. The difference being that it's definitely a higher quality blank, definitely higher quality components, it's lighter weight. So it's just kind of like an upgraded version of their traditional trout and panfish is kind of how I feel about it. Again, that's subject to change as we kind of start to catch fish. We'll see if it handles fish the same way, but for the most part, it does really feel a lot like that typical old trout and panfish stick. And if you guys have watched a lot, you'll know that I talk about that rod a lot because it's a great rod. It is really what I consider one of the best versatility sticks from an ultralight standpoint. So this is going to probably be very similar, except higher end, which I think a lot of people probably are looking for. I'm gonna put on a Dakota Sunrise horsefly. I had a black on there, but I just don't have confidence in it. This clear water with these sunny skies makes me feel like the Dakota Sunrise is gonna be the play. There's a fish. He just kind of scooped it up. Just a little bass, little guy. Ultralight fishing, you're gonna catch some of these little guys. All right. He just kind of slurped it up off the bottom there. All right, well, first fish on the Pastime series. Nothing crazy, but it's a start. Little feisty bass. See you, buddy. As far as aesthetics go, it's very low profile, really sleek looking design. Like the reel seat, feels really comfortable. Like I said, it balances nice. All in all, no problems. There's a fish. Oh, it's dinky. I think it's dinky. Or he's just coming towards me. That was a weird little bite. He's not dinky, it's a respectable bluegill. Not a big one by any means, but that was like a really light bite. And I definitely detected that because of the sensitivity there. And that was weird. Weird little finicky bluegill right there, my friends. On the board with a bass and a bluegill now. 2 species. Awesome. Cool. Micro drop shot, my friends. Gotta love it. Got him. Wondering if these are going to be crappie right here. Oh, big bluegill. Big respectable bluegill. I saw him on my graph and I just dropped my drop shot down there and I had it suspended and this fish came and slurped it. Ow. He just poked me pretty good there. That was sweet. Honestly, that was awesome. I don't know why I love vertical fishing for panfish, but it is so much fun. If you guys have never done this, you really need to try it. Right there. There's fish right down there, suspended a couple feet off the bottom. Another one. I love that. I love this style of fishing. It is so much fun. Just a little school of bluegill right here. Respectable fish too. Nothing big by any means, but super fun to vertically jig. So I'm gonna keep doing that. Usually I prefer to use a jig for this style of fishing, but the drop shot's working just fine. Another one. Oh my gosh, he ate it so quick. That's a crappie. Nice crappie. Well, not that big, but respectable. Awesome. Okay. Kind of just stumbled on a fish. Stumbled on a little school of fish right here. There you go, my friends. And Always a good time, my friends, always a good time. Hopefully you're getting a feel for the rod, how it bends. I'm kind of forgetting that I'm actually testing this rod and I'm just kind of focused on catching the fish. But watch this rod real quick. We're gonna catch another. There's bites. Got him. Oh, pulled free. Man, those are such light little bites. That is so much fun, dude. My rod tip just bounces ever so lightly. This is where a sensitive rod definitely pays off. Come get it. Got him. You guys saw that fish literally like pulled my rod tip down. Another bluegill. There you go. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Golly. That is fun. That is just fun. Another one. That one I actually casted for, but it was right back there in the strike zone. Nice quality bluegill. Quality bluegill right there. Very skinny though. These fish need to eat. There's one right on it. Let me get it. Oh, he just nipped at it. Got him. You know what's funny is I actually saw my drop shot on my graph that time. It's really hard to do on some of these little bit cheaper graphs, but in that case I did. And that is my best bluegill yet. Holy smokes. That's a quality one. 8.5 incher, quality bluegill. I love it. See ya, buddy. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that spot. I can always go back. There's obviously a big group of bluegill back there and maybe a couple crappie mixed in, but I think what I wanna do is keep looking for other schooling fish. If I can find some jumbo crappie, I feel like that would be the best case scenario. That being said, what do I feel about this rod so far? Obviously I like it. It really, really, really reminds me of the original trout and panfish. It's just higher quality. And I'm really noticing that it's an awesome rod for this vertical jigging technique. I feel like it's not as fast as some of the other rods I've used, but I didn't necessarily expect that it would be. It's not like a solid tip rod or anything like that. To me, again, this checks the boxes from a versatility standpoint. I'm having no problems with this drop shot. I would certainly have no issues with a jig, but it's flexible and soft enough to where you could throw like a spinner for trout as well. So I just love these TFOs for versatility. I just feel like they have nailed the ultralight rod so much for if you just need one rod, if you want one ultralight, you can't go wrong with the TFO. Hopefully with the camera angles by now, you've been able to see the flex on this rod. But like I said, it is a fast rod, but it's more towards like a moderate fast action, which again is why it's such a cool versatile rod. I thought it was kind of interesting. The first couple guides, the first two guides are not just like a straight up circle. They're kind of almost oval-like. I don't know how to explain it. They're just a little bit off shaped. I thought that was unique. Just this guide and this guide. After that, they're all just circles. Not sure what the point of that is. I'm sure there's a reason. I haven't noticed anything crazy about it, but I have no issues with it. I just thought it was interesting that they did that. Oh, no. Oh, I still have them. That was so weird. Ah, my line's wrapped around my rod. I gotta be careful. What is this? Let's hand line it in. I think it's a bluegill. That was so weird. My line got wrapped around my rod. Thankfully, it wasn't like a big fish, because then I could have broke this rod that I'm trying to review. Little bluegill. Oh, there he goes. What do you, stop it, stop it. I don't know what happened there, but somehow my line got wrapped around the rod a little bit. That was probably my fault. It's kind of just, you know, trying to vertical jig with a little bit of wind. Sometimes stuff like that happens. Not a bad bluegill, but we've caught bigger. Got you. Oh, Lord, that was a decent fish. What is this? Golly. When I set the hook, I thought that was going to be a beefcake, but it was certainly not a beefcake. It was just a feisty little bluegill that decided he did not want to come in the boat. That was wild. Set the hook and he just like was a brick wall down there. Dadgum. See ya, bud. All right. I love this drop shot. It's working really well. It's probably dumb to take it off, but I am a weird person and I am going to re-rig. And I'm gonna go with a Mule Minnow 2.2, a little bit larger size, and it's definitely my go-to rig for crappie. So I'm gonna rig up like a I think I'll go 1/16 ounce mule jig with a Mule Minnow 2.2. I'm not sure how deep the crappie will be. The bluegill have all been anywhere from 8 to about 14 foot of water. There's a fish right there, first cast. That's gotta be a nice slab, I bet. Either that or a bass. Oh, it's a bass, dadgummit. I mean, I'm not mad by any means, but I was hoping for a crappie. There you go. Okay, okay, okay. First cast with the Mule Minnow 2.2, got a little bass. Well, we caught a little bass before we caught those bluegill, so I guess that's just what we got to do. We catch bass and then we catch the species we're after. There's some fish hugging bottom right here, but they might be more bluegill. It's right in that strike zone the bluegill been eating at. I mean, if we need to just stick with bluegill today, I certainly will, but I definitely got to put in some effort if I want to catch some crappie. That's got to be a crappie. Come on, be a crappie, be a crappie. Nope, another bass. All right. Well, the bass have been in anywhere from 10 to 12 foot of water right off the bottom. Okay, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out. There you go. There's a lot of smaller bass in this lake. That's why I really don't care to fish specifically for bass right now. But still fun on the ultralight. Puts up a good little flex in the rod. That's like a crappie sized bass right there. So I guess next best thing. There's one. Okay, well, I'm down here. That's not gonna be a crappie, is it? If it is, it's gonna be a nice one. That's a 30 foot of water fish right there. Look at that rod go. Okay, probably a bigger bass is my guess. He ate that towards the bottom. Oh, he's not even that big. Put up a good fight though. Chill out, bud. Just kind of like the last one. That fish was closer to 30 foot of water. There you go. Mule Minnow 2.2 is doing a number on the little juvenile bass. Good times though. See ya, bud. I'm not gonna give up on the crappie yet. We're gonna keep looking around, just watching our graph, looking for new spots. See if we can't find some schooling fish. All right, respectable bluegill, just kind of casting around up there. Ow, man, they are feisty today and they are poking me good. Actually a pretty long bluegill, but he's just kind of thin. Seems like they need some food. A lot of the bluegill have been kind of thin. Not what you want to see necessarily. I was really hoping I was gonna find a good crappie bite today, but I don't know what it is. I just can't seem to find crappie this year, so that's okay. We're gonna put this down and we are going to catch some more bluegill. One 32nd ounce mule jig with the same horsefly I was using on the drop shot earlier, and I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of bluegill in here, so I'm just gonna drift this around and hopefully catch a bunch of bluegill. Speak of the devil, there's one right there. They may not be big ones, but there's a bunch in here, so I'm just gonna play around with these guys for a second. This one's a dink. But there are just so many of them. They're actually high in the water column. That's why I went for a little bit smaller jig this time. Got him. Oh my gosh. Dinky fish. Why are they here? I don't know. Gotcha. There's so many of these fish. I didn't realize they were all gonna be this small. We're just gonna catch a bunch of them real quick and then we're just gonna zoom out of here and go find something else. There's another one. Oh my gosh. Are there gonna be any sizable ones? I don't know. This one's a little bit bigger, but he's still small. You know, this is a good lesson though. Big fish tend to group up, small fish tend to group up. Fish school with other fish of their size. Man, I just zinged this thing way out there. It's a 1/32 ounce jig. This rod loads up really nicely on a small jig, I'm not gonna lie. There's a decent little bluegill. Up shallow under a dock. Respectable fish. Today is the day of bluegill. Bluegill are active, the crappie are not. There's a nice bluegill. Kind of randomly showed up in the shallows. It's a quality one right there. The bluegill are kind of scattered. You got fish shallow, you got fish deep. That's a nice one from the shallows. Most of the bigger fish have been deep, it seems like. Well, throwing the 1/32 ounce mule jig with a horsefly is definitely a different style of fishing versus what I was doing earlier. That fish took off with it and just loaded up the rod. Is that a crappie or is that a bluegill? It's a bluegill. Go figure. There you go. Actually a pretty good one. That's another solid fish. It's funny how there's some decent ones up shallow too. That fish is probably over 8 inches. and healthy, nice and fat. A lot of the bluegill have actually been kind of skinny today. That fish was healthy looking. We started the day strong on the drop shot. We are going to finish the day strong on the drop shot. My friends, this rig was working really well. I might as well keep using it before the day's through. I made it pretty obvious that I'm a little disappointed the crappie didn't play today, but I'm still quite thrilled with the amount of fish we've been catching. Things are kind of things are a little bit hit or miss in the fall, so, you know, take what you can get. In this case, it's a little largemouth bass, and there you go, guys. You can really see how that rod flexes. It flexes pretty darn good on even smaller fish like this. So definitely a fun stick, that's for sure. And I would definitely consider this a high-end ultralight. You know, for $250, you expect something that's gonna be pretty sensitive, pretty high quality, you know, nice components, and I definitely feel like you're getting that with this rod. Well, I've certainly been having fun with this rod, but I gotta be honest with you, the time went by really fast. I haven't been out here very long, but I did spend a lot of time just looking at my graph and going around and trying to find crappie. It is what it is. They did not cooperate today. I have a running competition with John Dalton that I'm gonna catch the bigger crappie, but I'm struggling. I really need to catch one. I need to catch a quality one. I guess I should have measured that fish earlier, but I guess I thought once I caught him, I figured I would catch a bigger one by the end of the day. And we've only caught one crappie. There we go. What's this gonna be? This could be a crappie or probably a bass. There's a bass. Dang. Thought maybe it'd be a big old slab. Thought my luck would turn around. Every time I think it's a crappie, it's a little bass. All right, swing them in. There you go. A lot of juvenile bass today, though. Always a good time. These are perfect little fish for ultralight fishing. There you go. Micro drop shot eater. See ya, bud. Got him. Probably a bluegill. Yep, bluegill. There you go. Good stuff, good stuff. That is so much fun. I don't know why I ever left this area. Should have just stuck with this, done it for 3 hours straight. Gotcha. What do we got here? What do we got here? Probably a bluegill. Feels like a bluegill. Looks like a bluegill. It's a bluegill. Another bluegill. There are a bunch of them on this little stretch of bank right here. Another one. Dadgum. This is awesome. This is awesome. See these fish? This one's a little bit healthier looking. A little chunkier belly. See ya, bud. Oh my gosh, that one ate it on the fall. That's a nice quality gill. My goodness, look at that fish. Yes, sir. That's a nice quality gill. He's really pale. That's a nice one. I love this. This is so fun. Dadgummit, Ethan. Should have never left this spot. I don't know what I did that for. I'm such a goober. Why leave biting fish? I went on and pedaled around all over the place looking for crappie. Never successfully found crappie. The whole time I could have been right here throwing a drop shot and just popping bluegill. All right, I just flicked it up there a little bit, and then I just keep that rod tip high, and I've got my nose pointed into the wind, and there's a bite right there, and I got him. Man, you can just feel that kind of through the line, and it just rattles down the rod blank. Man, that's actually a pretty decent fish right there. Probably a nice bluegill. Yeah, another quality gill. Holy smokes, look at that, guys. Look at that. I don't care where you live in the country. I'm in Michigan, but that's a nice quality gill, no matter where you're at. You know, do they get bigger? Yes, they do. But that fish, I'll never be mad about. 3, 2, there he is. Ugh. I was trying to call my shot. I was gonna say 3, 2, 1, but he bit on 2. There you go. Well, for wasting a lot of time today, I still managed to catch a lot of fish. Let's get one more, and then I need to get back to the boat ramp. Gotcha. Oh, what you gonna be? What you gonna be? What you gonna be? Quality bluegill. Another quality bluegill to end the day. Man, he just gobbled up that horsefly. Dadgum, buddy. You were hungry. All right, see you, bud. Okay, drop shot. That was the MVP. That was the MVP. And I like this little hook keeper because it's perfect for a drop shot. There you go. It's like it was meant to be. Well, I tell you what, I ran out of time. I wish I could stay out here, but all in all, I had a good time. I really do like this rod. I look forward to playing with it more in the future. It's obviously high end. Like I said, if you want one brand for versatility and just ultralight fishing in general, to me, TFO is the most versatile option out there. You can go with the original, just trout and panfish series, a little bit cheaper, and you can catch a ton of fish on that. That's a great option. You can spend a little bit higher dollar, get a higher quality, higher grade ultralight made in America, and you can get the PASTIME series. I love this rod. It's obviously a nicer rod than their original. That being said, it is close to double the price, so I can understand why that might not work for everyone. Anyways, I'm rambling. I gotta get home. I appreciate you watching. We'll catch you next time.